Okay, we're gonna continue from where we left off. Last time we were checking out smart selection, so we're gonna continue from there. So I just noticed that getting to this page is really hard. So this is a course for Figma design for beginners, right? If you search Figma course, so mm, let's also add the site as figma.com. So okay, we get some more. The first uh, website first page takes you to this. So this is sort of like a blog post, not really a course. So there are the next page. Let's see. Okay, so this is okay, so this is actually what we want to um go. So this is probably the page. So I am covering the Figma design for beginners, and then these are, I don't know, and there's an intermediate Figma design courses. What is this? So this is just a Figma community. So this guy is asking for intermediate courses, and people are telling their recommendation, giving their recommendation, I think. All right. So let's go to the smart instance and smart selection. Okay. The last chapter was clean up your layers, and next this is gonna be the people talking. Yeah, all right. So in this video, they talk about difference between section, groups, and frames. So let's talk about frames first. So the frames has some properties that doesn't these properties doesn't appear in sections and groups. For example, you can last time, like we saw, you can give the frames a fill. Last time we gave it image fill, and frames can be used to clip off content, and we can add some prototype plugin or whatever. And then frames are used as a starting screen, starting sort of like a canvas. For example, you can use a frame for Android screen, a desktop screen. You can use the presets and put content inside the frame. Groups on the other end is to group some layers to move them. Sections are, I thought frames are to organize stuff, but that's not what frames are used for. It's sections. Sections are used to organize stuff. So you put frames, groups, everything inside a section, and then just give it a name or something that will contain everything. And it's give it a name, and so that's it. You put um, whatever stuff belongs together in a section. That's pretty much it. And all of these sections, groups, and frames have their own icon. And if you go to your layer panel, and you'll be able to see them. So let's see. I'm gonna create some layers. So these are just shape layers. I can put them in a frame. You know what? I will group them first. So if I wanted to move them, I can move the group. So I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna use the move tool and then select them, and I believe I can just group selection. So now they're a group, and now I'm gonna put them in a frame, so that when I group them, I can move these two layers together. Then I can use frame. So frame has some properties like clip content. It has many properties, so we're gonna learn about them later. So very important. Next, we can use section. So let's see. We got the convert to section. I don't know how to. Okay, maybe there's a section. Okay, now look at the icons. This is the icon for group, this is the icon for frame, and this is for the section. You can sort of see the hierarchy, how each object is contained in other key layer, layer or something. So sections are at the top level usually. I mean, you can also put frames at the top level, doesn't matter. But usually sections will be at the top. Okay, next we're gonna check out auto layout. So to start talking about auto layout, let's first create a button and see the problem in action. So button is just a text on some background rectangle. So I'm gonna create a rectangle, right? Let's just put some text. Let's say I'm gonna zoom in. Let's say button. Great. Now I can zoom in more, and then I'm gonna just draw a rectangle behind this. Okay, also let's make this a frame. Where's the name button? I'll put it on top. Okay, so the text is inside of a button. Now the problem is, if I change the text to something else, it will, you know what, I think having the rectangle is a pretty bad idea. So I'm gonna just delete it and just use the frame as a fill. I'm gonna go to frame and give it a fill. All right, so I want to select and make it big to accommodate the text. Okay, so now notice it. When I add some text, it overflows the frames container or whatever. So this is a problem the auto layout solves. Okay, auto layouts allow you to automatically adjust as you make changes, and saving your time, and so it automatically adjusts sizes and it becomes responsive and adaptable. So like I demonstrated, something like this, right? It happens this, so we want to avoid that. So we can select the frame and make it auto layout. Now I can add a text, anything, and it will grow and or shrink. So let's look at the auto layout property. So we got freeform, vertical, horizontal, grid beta, resizing. We got width, height, alignment, gap, padding, clip content. We got all of this stuff. We're gonna look at all of them. Okay, auto layouts are used to create responsive design, right? So look at this. These are stacked sort of like icon and the text. So we can create this with auto layout. So if we add some sort of like, if we could drag this panel, right, it would make this bigger. So that way you can do that with auto layout. So I'm gonna create something like this in Figma. So grab a frame, and then we need to let's give it a circle. Let's create a circle. We're gonna imagine it's some sort of icon, and next to it we're gonna give it add some text. So it's not visible. Why is that? Does the fill? That was weird. So we have this. I'm gonna also give it some border, stroke. Okay, expand the thingy, and then make it a little bigger. Select the frame and drag it. Okay, let's just imagine this is some sort of list component. Use it in some like this. Use it like this. I'm gonna select this and make some more copy. Just select them and press Alt and drag. Zoom back. So I can select them maybe and use auto layout. If I use the auto layout, it automatically um, puts them like this, where it has the same gap. So let's look at them. So currently the flow is vertical, so everything is on top of each other. We can make it horizontal, then it would become like this. Everything is side by side. So let's just go back. So the reason that was like weird, we need to make this auto layout as well, so that this text will be side by side. So let's go here and make this side by side. Can I just select everything? I just select everything and click horizontal. Okay, now we might be able to still didn't work. So it's horizontal. Maybe we need to give it the fixed width. So that's pretty much it, right? You can have it like on top of each other, and like vertical and then horizontal. So that's flow. So I'm not gonna check this out. We're gonna check that out later, I guess. I'm gonna copy this and paste. Okay, I'm gonna just copy this real quick. So where is it? Frame 11. It's outside of frames. Great. I can use the width to increase the frame size and height, and they are centered. So we got alignment here. So that is top and center and bottom. And the gap, so this is the gap. We can drag it. And the padding, if the padding value will add something like this. What is this? This is a horizontal padding. So these are the padding values. So these are horizontal padding. This is vertical padding. Let's make this frame a big to see it more clearly. Also, let's center them. So this is the padding. It will add something like this. Okay, so this is the padding 16 value, and this has the 16 padding. So it kind of like pushes the content. So we can't so if you use CSS, you'd know how the padding works. So we got the vertical padding. Okay, next we're gonna make this. Currently it's flowing vertically. I want to make it flow like horizontal and make this work. So let's see how to make that work. Okay, so everything is the same way, and if we use it, goes back to like that. I'm gonna undo that, and okay, so let's check it. I'm gonna select this, and notice that the resizing is fill container, and we got hug contents, and add min width and max width. So these are like CSS. If you know what those mean, then that's great, right? Min width will like make it so that so whenever the content so basically you are saying the content should be minimum this much width, and it can be bigger than that. You can also set max width, like the content can be like this much bigger and it can't get any bigger than that. So currently it's set to fill container. We can also make hug contents. So when we do that, it's gonna like hug the content like that. It's gonna respect the padding and the gap. So if we set the padding to 0 and to make it center and set the gap to 0, and it will hug the content. We don't want that, so we're gonna select the frame and set some padding, maybe 5. I want to make it, let's make it 8, maybe 16 or something. That's really bad. I'm gonna make this also. Let's add a gap 32. Okay, so that's our contents. All right, now let's add the same thing and see if it works. So we're gonna make the hug content, and we're gonna center it and give it 8 and 8 and set the padding 32. What is this? We're gonna move the frame out of the way, select the whole thing and make it like that. Great, seems like it's working. So that's flow. You can put them like horizontally or vertically to create something like these. So you can create using that and this kind of content. So the power of, let's put them like this. So the power of auto layout. So when you like select this and resize it, when I resize it, it should fill the container. So let's look at that. So I'm gonna select everything again, all of this, and so that is the width of the frame. So I don't want to do that. I'm gonna select this content, everything, and then instead of hug contents, we're gonna fill container. Now we can just expand the container, and everything the child frames will take the full width. Also the gaps are, so the gaps are using in the main frame. So that's pretty much what it's doing. Everything else, so where this value is coming from, so these are centered. And the padding value, well, so it's only taking the gap value from the frames and it's increasing the padding thingy. It's not even adding padding. It's more like just artificially centering them and adding them padding, adding the gap. All right, next we're gonna create this. So let's go to the frame and let's just, for now, let's select everything, and we're gonna change it to our contents. So we got some gap. That gap is really a lot, so maybe we're gonna just okay. Okay, I'm gonna rename the text. I'm gonna put some ingredients, some dishes names here. I'll be back. All right, so I changed the text to this dishes. So with the UG selected, it will add the padding and the gap, and then it's pretty much the frame will hug um, the layers inside of it. So it will look like this. So now if we set the to fill container, um, I mean, if we select everything, we need to select everything first, and then if we set the fill container, it will look like this, and it sort of looks like this. So maybe you might want to line up these. So let's see, can we do that? So align center. So these are top. So it's centering it. You know what? I don't think we can only probably use the padding for the left value to. So where is everything? We can probably use the padding for the left value to sort of make it centered. Let's set it to her contents. Again, if you don't like these circles or something, you can probably go to material design. Maybe let's go to avatar, and let's select this one and delete it, and then just drag and paste it like that, and it will automatically accommodate it and add the padding and the gap. So let me just drag it this one. So I just noticed the size of the text and the frame are all wrong. So delete it. All right. To make it look like this, we're gonna round the corners and make the text bigger. Okay, so let's select the frame, all the frame. Let's select all the frames, and then let's see stroke. So where is the option? Apply styles and variables, advanced stroke options. Okay, so the join. This is not it. Dynamic. So where can we round the corners? So in the Illustrator, we had a sort of like a button that allows you to round the corner. All right. So in the Illustrator, we can just grab this button and drag it. Also, if you go to transform and more option, we also got that. So let's see. So we're looking in the transforms. So we got alignment or rotation. in the more option. Nope. Maybe in the appearance. What is this? Individual corners. Okay, we have the option for the corner radius. Okay, right here. Okay, great. And then just let's select all the text. I'm gonna use the control and increase the, I'm gonna make this medium and increase the font. And then we can, if we wanted to, increase the padding. So to do that, we need to select the frame. Let's increase the padding. So not the individual. Great, looks good. All right, with auto layout, you can create a complex auto layout setup. So this is one auto layout, and these two, I guess there could be an auto layout. Maybe these three are inside of one auto layout. And then the whole thing is in another auto layout. Let's try to quickly create this. So first we need to create these two. So I'm gonna assume okay, I thought I could reuse it, but doesn't matter, we're gonna create it. So let's we need a circle and some text. Let's call it text for now. And then we need a frame selection. So what do we do? What do we need next? And then we need this and then we need to create an image and this text. So let's quickly convert this into auto layout. So convert it to auto layout. Thus the gap, I'll make it 12. So that is not good. Maybe 32. And padding, okay, now we need some image. For the image, I'm just going to use a rectangle, and we need some long text that spans. Okay, and then we need to put this in our auto layout. So let's click on this auto layout. It automatically created. Next time, try Control Alt Shift A. It's auto layout done quick. Figma will figure out the frame you need, then make them for you. Okay. So with the frame selected, I'm gonna center. So I'm gonna just use it like this, and we also have the gap option. So 32. All right, and then I can copy this frame again. Copy this. zoom out, and then put auto layout, and then we get to choose the gap. If we wanted to, we can just increase this thing. So that's how you can sort of like create these cards or components that have same gaps that are perfectly aligned. Okay, auto layout is used throughout your design. So here it's also using auto layout. I mean, you can put the whole frame in auto layout to just use it for the gaps. So you probably use the auto layout so to give each layer inside of the layout to give some same gap or something. So finally, I'll just create this one to show you as one final sort of exercise. So I'm gonna need some icons. So let's go back and try to get some icons. Okay, the icon is really small. Okay, we're gonna select them and then create a frame selection, and then use the auto layout and give the gap. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna also create another auto layout on top of it. I mean another frame. So now it got a frame inside of it. Let's we could use auto layout and it will fill it. Let's make it so it hugs content and select it. Wait a minute. Okay, that is not good. We need to use the fill content. Okay, we need to use the fill content on here, fill container. So it has a fixed width. So it's probably it's probably filling the whole container, but it's not centering it. All right, now with that we can adjust the frame, and the container is responsive. So you at the end of the day, you use auto layout to create responsive, adaptive designs. So imagine you had a mobile screen. This was the navigation at the bottom, and if you use the same design for let's say on a tablet, so if you create one single app, it needs to be adaptive to the tablet. So your app's gonna just expand on a tablet, and you can see how your app will expand it, like using expanding like this.